Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mid-Season Cup for 2020. We're heading into our semi-finals today. And eventually, at the end of everything, Korea made it on through in the end. It's not just going to be LPL semi-finals. My name is Wilshels. I'm joined by Dagda and Hysterics as we jump into our playoffs.
Yeah, it's nice to be back for the LPL semi-finals featuring Gen G in the MSC. But yeah, I mean, look, Gen G looked absolutely stellar yesterday, so not a surprise.
Man, feels bad if you're a Korean, you know, like an LCK fan, I should say here, because one team out of four.
Yeah, but Gen G are looking good. Let's take a look at our groups and where we ended at the end of yesterday as we move towards our semi-finals. Group A finished out with FPX and Top Esports topping that group out. T1 at the bottom of the standings there. Then Group B, it was Gen G and JDG that made it through after tiebreak.
This was the biggest upset. T1 not making it through groups when the expectation from all the casters was that T1 would be first or second. So for Group A, that's the biggest upset of the weekend so far.
And for Group B, I expected DRX to get out. They looked great, started off with that 2-0, and then suddenly it all fell apart. They really looked strong coming into it.
They reverse swept themselves.
Yeah.
It's a disaster for DRX. But let's talk a little bit about Group A first, because I want to highlight one of the players out of Group A. Our highlight player across that first day has to be Knight, man. Knight in the mid lane just looked amazing time after time, and people were questioning whether he would step up in international play. He absolutely has.
And especially when top as a whole didn't look amazing, Knight needed to step up, and that's exactly what he did. He saved the fight against Damwon with the smooth LeBlanc plays. He set up the final engage against T1 to secure them the semi-finals, and then he managed to get the solo kill on Doinby as well.
And finally, we got a Knight in an international tournament that played well, right? Last Rift Rivals, you remember that Knight didn't step up to the plate. We know Knight in playoffs as well really struggles. So he came into this tournament with the expectations that we might not get the King Knight, the golden left hand himself, but like he said, the LeBlanc, which he just wanted to show that he was a class act, the Corki with lethal tempo that he's made famous in the LPL.
And for someone that has struggled so long in these bigger stages, for him to finally step up and showcase what we've been talking about for so long in the LPL is fantastic to see for this young man.
He was making us look bad, man. We talked him up every tournament, but now finally we're right.
It feels like maybe 2020 is his year.
Yeah,
I'm excited for what Knight can bring to the table today, but it's blind pick to start off the best of 5, so there's a lot on the line for the mid laners. But on the other side, when we look at Group B as well, it's another mid laner that's going to get our highlight player for Group B. It's going to be BDD. I think you guys at home already knew it, because yesterday he went God mode.
We wanted regular season BDD. We wanted regular season Gen G. We got that here in Group B. And BDD, not only did he play exceptionally well in the likes of the Azir, the Syndra, he had a Yasuo game that is exactly your team, your enemy team's Yasuo, and it was really scary to watch. And I think BDD showed us that regular season MVP was well deserved.
4-man Azir ultimates against JDG to win crucial dragon fights. 13-2 on that Yasuo that you were talking about. He looked unstoppable and just propelled Gen G straight into that first seed of Group B. And a lot of that was, yes, off of his own play. He looked absolutely stellar, but it was a fantastic supporting cast around him as well. The clips that you see here, Clade setting him up for success with a lot of these engages. You also had Rascal, who's having great performances on the likes of the Silas that were really just helping him to secure these victories for Gen G.
And then you go towards the bottom side of the map, and we had some pretty good games out of Ruler and Life as well. I know that towards the final couple of games for Gen G, Ruler had some step-ups, but the majority of the tournament, Ruler and Life with this solid bottom lane that kind of put Gen G together.
Yeah, but just look at BDD on the Azir. He almost single-handedly wins the team. This looked like it was JDG's fight.
And this is where we were, as you mentioned, Hysterics, looking at Gen G as, do we get regular season Gen G or what do we get? And right now, BDD is leading the charge as regular season Gen G, and he needs that to continue here today.
All right, well, we'll return to the conversation of Gen G, but let's take a look at our bracket and how things are going to be panning out across the course of today. We'll start things off at the top of the bracket. You can see them there. FPX versus JDG. It's going to be a rematch of the semi-finals of the LPL playoffs. And then on the other side of the bracket, we'll have Gen G up against Top Esports, Korea's last hope against the LPL finalists in Top Esports. But first off, let's move the conversation over to FPX versus JDG. Let's talk a little bit about these two teams in this matchup, because FPX Obviously, the semi-finals didn't look so hot against JDG.
And this is the problem that I'm going to see here for FPX, is that it's an uphill battle to begin with. 3-0'd in the LPL semi-finals in a similar position, and especially when FPX, on their wins yesterday, picked up the win on Rumble, they picked up the win with the Galio, and these were the plays that were banned away by JDG. You weren't able to pick them up as FPX. So now coming into today's games, they need to find a way to mix things up to try and take on JDG.
I will say, though, what the difference is between this game and, this best of 5 and the semi-finals in the LPL is the fact that we now have Khan in that top lane. It is not Gimgoon. It is the top laner who, towards the end of this group, really found the form alongside the rest of FPX.
And especially when FPX are so happy now to start playing around him. As you saw on your screens there, Zombie getting out of lane, working with Tien to camp topside against Damwon, made it nigh on impossible for Damwon to get any sort of foothold in this game. And I think with Khan versus Zoom, this matchup that we were missing for such a large portion of our LPL split, this will be the decider, especially for Zoom, who didn't have the best of games yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I think Tien as well kind of stepped up a lot. We were questioning his Kindred a little bit in the earlier games, but the longer the day went on, the better Tien.
Yeah, well said, Munch, because at the start of the day, that Kindred performance, the inconsistencies with Tien is what happened during the regular season. The questions towards Tien, who was called the best jungler of 2019.
And aside from that as well, I was really impressed in top esports games how FPX were able to punish overextensions. One of the biggest things it felt like for me in the regular split was once FPX fell behind, they didn't really know how to claw their way back into it. But when they played against top, they were figuring out, okay, if we let top roam into us, well, then we can get these engages that we want off, even winning 4v5 fights. So I think with the new level that FPX are showing with Khan, that confidence that maybe he brings to the roster is what might be the deciding factor for this match.
Dude, finally, during the regular, it took the whole of the regular season and then no playoff Khan into the third place match. I think now FPX have got that recipe of success, so I'm hoping it's a bit more competitive than what we saw in that semi-final.
It feels like they're finally ready to bring Khan to the fold. But let's take a look at their opponents as well, because JDG are going to be coming in strong, no less. They had a long day yesterday. They had a really long day yesterday,
to say the least.
But they're still looking good, and they pulled it out in the clutch moments in the end of the tie.
And you know what? If you're talking clutch moments, I know we're having a look here at earlier in the day against the other LPL team in the group who didn't do so hot in Invictus Gaming, but we rolled towards a Zoom carry towards the end of that day. He finally showed up. I think those individual members of JDG are really solidifying their position here at MSC.
I think that's what scared me, though, looking at JDG, was it took them so long to get rolling. In the earlier games against the LCK lineups, they didn't show up for a lot of the early game. It was waiting for those late games where they could outperform them in the team fights or wait for mistakes from the enemy. But you can't really rely on that, especially with the performance that Gen G had yesterday. There was so few mistakes in their game plan, and they really did look like they'd taken that step up.
But I am happy to give JDG that bit of a, time period over the day, because I think it was learning more about the meta and learning more about the LCK teams they're going up against, because IG weren't really their threat, let's be quite honest. But JDG with that development now looks solidified. We still have Kanavi, Loken kind of stepping up to the plate here.
And I think Loken is worth talking about as well, because he got a lot of criticism across the regular split in the LPL. But here at MSC, I think he's been one of, if not the most consistent player on G.
I agree with you, but I think Lu Mao's been the most consistent player.
Oh,
Lu Mao has been absolutely stellar for this team throughout all day yesterday, throughout the regular season performance as well.
Man.
The set was amazing. His Leona here looked absolutely stellar as well. And I think when I looked towards JDG, the biggest problem that I saw yesterday was the control they had in the finals didn't matter about the composition that they played. It was the way they played the map was so incredibly smart. Yesterday, that's not the performance we saw for a lot of this. Zoom getting caught out in usual positions. Kanavi getting caught out in the enemy jungle as Trundle trying to back. These are mistakes that are not consistent with meta. They're consistent with the team as a whole. Now, as we said, they found their groove as the day went on, but I'm still curious as to what do we get? Do we get early day JDG or do we get the later game?
Can they turn it on quickly?
Isn't that funny? Because with FPX, it's kind of the same, right? Their first game was against T1 and they did not look great at all. T1 destroyed them, but as the day went on, FPX shaped up. As the day went on, JDG got better and better as well. So it's just about that development through the individual days that make their team look better and better.
Which version of these two teams are we going to get is the question. And also, as we look towards a blind pick game number 1, Knight looked great on LeBlanc. Your Gao's always looking great on LeBlanc. I would love to see a LeBlanc matchup in that mid lane. We'll have to wait and see how the draft is going to go, though. Let's take a look at our second semi-final for the day as well, as our Korean representatives, the last men standing from the LCK. It's Gen G there, going up against Top Esports from the side of LPL.
And Top Esports have looked amazing. Jackie Love in an interview said that they decided to match the slow pace of the LCK because they were just like, right, we can beat these teams in late game fights. So that's the style that we're going to play. It worked out for them on day number 1, and we're going to have to see now if they can do the same here.
Individuals stepping up huge. I like that you start with Jackie Love, and you know, it's important to look at how these players operate, because when we get towards something like a late game fight, when we get towards how Top Esports have been playing these games, people like Jackie Love are so experienced, and someone like Knight as well played them out exceptionally. So again, just coming back to the point, I think Top Esports here, the individuality still strikes true as we expected at the start.
The problem that I'm seeing though here is that against FPX, Top tried this poke and disengage composition that didn't really work out, and as well against T1, the way that they end up winning in that late game team fight was a strange Baron call from T1. So it's still relying on some mistakes and still seeing some mistakes in Top Esports play. And this seems to be the story of the LPL teams coming into this. They're not as clean as we expected, and they really need to pick it up. And here's that call that I was talking about from T1, where they just haven't, or well, this was a strange call that gave Top Esports the opportunity to come back into this game, but they were not in this game until this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the most exciting things about Top Esports for me is you kind of do get two versions of them sometimes, but when they pop off individually, players like Knight, players like Jackie Love, they go to another level. They bring out things that you just can't even imagine happening.
Looks like it feels, or rather it feels like it's dependent on someone like Casa, especially. In the last couple of games we saw of the day, Casa came into it in a big way, right? As part of the shot calling we expect in the early game, and with Jackie Love alongside that for the late game, Casa kind of makes or breaks some of these.
And Casa goes into that conversation of this Lee Sin pick. Obviously, LCK is not really looked very good, but it's a favorite pick in the LPL. Casa is one of the players that can justify that Lee Sin pick.
And you can see Knight there as well with his Echo pick, his little pocket pick as well. Final engage there against T1 to win that entire fight.
Yeah, and let's talk about their opponents as well quickly, because we're starting to run out of time. We're getting towards our games here. Gen G. And the first player I want to talk about on the side of Gen G, obviously, is BDD. He looked amazing. We've already talked about him a bunch earlier on. But I also want to mention Ruler, because it feels like with Ruler, you can never count him out of a fight.
I mean, the team as a whole stepped up. Rascal had insane Silas engages. You got Clid, who did an amazing job of controlling the enemy jungle.
Had a really good day,
we already talked about BDD. Ruler was slapping Deft around on Kalista in that bottom lane. Deft, we talked about being one of the strongest laning AD carries in this tournament. And then as well, the support. Life was incredible, getting these roams off on the set, popping up all over the map, and making it impossible for the enemy team to figure out where he's going to be or how they're going to win this 1v2 they now found themselves.
You can see there really great coordination between Clid and BDD, and I know we're harping on a bit of a record here. BDD alongside Rascal, because Rascal has looked like one of the best top laners at this tournament. Rascal absorbs so much pressure through the early game, especially when you're in groups with teams like IG and DRX. And you get to this point where you're like, okay, Rascal's not going to do anything in fights, but then he shows up big alongside BDD, of course.
I just love the drafts that we're seeing out of Gen G as well. They're willing to bring out some of the weird picks, especially Life. He has a weird old champion pull down in the spot roll, but we're just about out of time. It's time to head over to LoL Park. So, gentlemen, before we head over there, final words. Who's going to be in the finals?
This is really hard to call. I think it'll be JDG versus Gen G. I think Gen G just beat the LPL teams yesterday, and they could do the same again today.
Right,
I want to see an LCK versus LPL final. I'm sorry. I think Gen G are going to take it in the matchup. I think JDG will also meet them there. So I'm hoping for an LPL LCK matchup in the finals. That's all I want.
I think it's JDG against Top. I think that's going to be a LPL final rematch. We'll have to wait and see. It's time to head over to the LCK casters and get these semifinals underway.
大盘吧，就跟着我妖姬，感觉他被我换来换去的，有点晕。
再追一个奈特上是挂了一个毛兵，恐怕这两个人都不太好走吧。奈特总算是要回到过去，再去斩杀了一个对手的辅助。
妖姬，感觉他被我换来换去的，有点晕。
再追一个奈特上是挂了一个毛兵，恐怕这两个人都不太好走吧。奈特总算是要回到过去，再去斩杀了一个对手的辅助。
다시 복수해서 홀가분해진 것 같아요 지금은.
厄培尤斯那把他打的输出没打好一点，我们就输了。
如果盲选的话，将选我们FanPlus的冠军皮肤阵容。
개인이 좋아하는 챔피언도 많이 나올 것 같다고 생각은 하고 있는 것 같아요.
我觉得盲选我想玩的可能就是那种什么亚索、野艾克这种。
做对我们最有利的选择，然后再把自己的线上打好一点。
没什么压力，因为他们是他们，我们是我们嘛。
라이트 선수, 켈리드 선수랑 같이 게임 내내 답답한 기분을 느끼게 해드리겠습니다.
既然小组赛我已经出现了嘛，那半决赛一定要拿下，加油！
我们 BO5也打了3次了，结果怎么样就不用我说了吧。
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live once again in Lal Park for the 2020 Mid-Season Cup. It's me, Valdez, today with Wadid, a very special guest once again, back with us on the desk. How are you doing today, man?
I'm feeling great. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Yeah, you don't have to say much. I know you talked a lot yesterday. It was a very busy day for you and Atlas. Going all the way to 8 games through the tiebreaker games was crazy, but now we do have our knockout stage and our final teams that will be going into the semifinals today. You and I are going to be bringing everybody at home, FPX and JDG, going head-to-head in this best of 5. As we do take a look at the lineups here once again, Khan is going to be going up into the top lane, as we could have expected after the way the group stage did go.
Yeah, and also when they played against JDG in the LPL, they had the game gun on the top side, right? So they have kind of excuse to play this, because like before they didn't have Khan. So
yeah.
This time they have new member, so it can be completely different. So yeah, it's really exciting matchup for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Khan did prove that he's kind of a mechanical god that he was once, brought into the scene as and became famous for. And especially because this game 1, by the way, in the best of 5s, everybody, are going to be blind picks. So this means that we could see crazy picks coming out. We can see mirror matchups in many different lanes.
I mean, Tian said he really want to use all 5 world skins.
Yeah.
But my question is Khan gonna use Kim Gun's Gangplank skin?
Yeah, I don't know. Would Khan even want to play Gangplank?
I mean, he has his pride, like
yeah.
he needs to prove something else than his skin.
True.
But I think maybe for the team, for the meme.
For the meme?
Yeah, I mean,
the meme dream?
Yeah, he can definitely do it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's this weird thing where we got this blind pick and we could have crazy picks, but at the same time, first place is $600,000. So
man.
A lot of the players, I'm sure, in the back of their minds and the orgs are like, well,
I mean,
we have to be competitive in every single game. All these teams are so good here in the semifinals.
But when you think about it, if you sell skins, then you get money as a player, right?
True.
So
Yeah.
they can both of them, benefit.
Yeah, true.
Worth.
Win and also sell skins.
Yeah, exactly.
With your skins. Yeah, actually, not a bad idea. So maybe there's like a meta feeling within the skin as well. We'll have to see if they actually do it here. As we're taking a look at DD's lineup. Obviously, as we were brought in by the LPL guys in the pre-show, they went over how well JDD did do in the previous day. And
yeah, it was a long day for them as well, but they were looking pretty good by the end of it. Obviously, I feel like as a team, there's not really one specific player that stands out as like the hard carry of the team, but just as a team, they're all just really strong right now.
Yeah, I'm just worried about their condition. Because they spent almost 8 and 10 hours in the venue as us, right?
Yeah.
And I just saw like 8 cups on the table, probably filled up with the caffeine. But yeah. Just what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is it's BO5, right? So definitely condition will matter.
Yeah, that's true, and that means FPX, they had a day to rest, to sit back and to watch the games, maybe go over strategies, whereas the guys here at JDG, they stayed all night, they went back to their dorm or hotel or wherever, and then immediately it's like, they don't have much time to go over things because they got to get their rest and prepare for the next day. So that's a good point to raise, and I'm definitely very curious to see if they're going to come out swinging or will they fall flat here in the blind pick, because as we even saw in the interview with some of the players, they're expecting a lot of, mechanical champions, like they call them physical champions, such as, Yasuo, Echo, these assassins that...
He's laughing, by the way.
Yeah, well, he's always laughing.
Yeah, and also Kanavi said it in an interview that they're really close, so we're going to talk about champions that we're going to play in blind pick. So maybe we can see something like FPX skins versus IG skins, like LPL representations.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the true meme dream, I guess.
True meme dream.
Yeah. That means both teams are in on it.
Yeah, and also Riot is going to be really happy.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's making money. Everybody's selling the skins.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. Or the opposite, maybe FPX just play their skins and then it's up against IG skins or something like that.
Okay, let's be really boring then,
Yeah.
If you really want to win this game, then I would definitely pick mid Syndra and AD carry Varus.
Yeah. Oh, that's so boring.
I mean, if you really want to win this,
Yeah.
then just pick Syndra and Varus.
Syndra, Varus.
All the matchups that you could play in this meta is definitely playable. And is actually good in early game and late game as well.
True. And you can build around those two champions, as you're saying. I wouldn't be surprised to see Varus against Varus.
No. Oh, no. Do not hover the champion, please. Lokan. He just locked in.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it's, Varus against Varus, I think we can expect. Mid lane, I think we might see some LeBlanc. Maybe Gao's going to pull out his LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Especially if he's maybe expecting a Syndra.
Actually, Kanavi loves to play Lee Sin, and Tian has his skin. I mean, it's 100% that Tian is going to play Lee Sin. There is no way.
Yeah.
It's his pride.
Yeah.
And also, Kanavi kind of showed up yesterday with the Lee Sin.
True.
And he was watching that.
He's jealous now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm better player. I have my skin, bro.
Yeah.
You don't. So.
By the way, Varus versus Varus.
Oh, man.
Locked in the bottom side. Khan is playing Ornn.
Okay.
As well.
Way more boring than Gangplank.
Look at this comp by FPX. This is the most boring thing I've ever seen. Okay, we have everything except the jungle locked in. Yeah. And that's the real question, Is he going to actually play the Sin with what looks like a heavy scaling comp already by FPX?
I think both teams are thinking about like Kindred, Trundle, those kind of mind games, right? But I don't think they're gonna pick Trundle kind of champion.
Yeah,
they're definitely picking in Nidalee and Graves in the jungle, and Yagao picked Corki, by the way. This guy, look at this guy. He really wanted that $600K.
Yeah, he did. He, honestly, I don't blame them. There's
we cannot.
Yeah.
They are professional players,
Of course.
I would definitely do the same, by the way.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I will.
Okay. You pick up the Tom Kents for your teammates?
Maybe I suggest something else. Like, hey guys, maybe we can earn money at the same time with like promoting our skins,
Yeah.
and like, haha, guys, chill down, it's joke,
Yeah.
No way, I'm playing TK.
Yeah. TK all the way.
Yeah.
As what did a team player, and so is Chris, apparently. He played a lot of aggressive supports in the group stage, and now he's like, well, he's been, I don't know, the anger has been quelled. He's been calmed down, and he's just going to be gobbling up his teammates and saving them, as this is pretty much the most disgusting scaling comp on the side of FPX. But guys, we are going to see what happens here in game number 1 of this best of 5. Here we go. Back on the Rift once again. I hope you you had some caffeine yourself, Wadid, and you got some rest after your marathon yesterday.
Yeah, actually I didn't drink yet, by the way.
Okay.
So I might sleep during the game. Because,
that's fine.
You know, a lot of people actually blame the LCK about how boring they are, but yesterday I cast all of their games, right?
Yeah.
And we had LPR versus LPL 2, and it was also kind of boring.
Yeah. You guys had that one game that was like, what?
Like 20 minutes, no kills?
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's not
I was
only
at home
LCK.
falling asleep.
Yeah, it's not only LCK, it's also LPL. And look at their picks.
I know.
Cassidy mid and Corki in 2020. And look at this guy. So smart.
Yeah.
Like Zoom is like, nah, we are LPL, bro. There is no mid. Okay.
Zoom's like chasing him. He's like, wait, come back.
Wait.
Where are you going?
I love this, by the way. So the top laners are playing mid lanes. And by the way, both Varus has exact same. No, actually not. LWX has Gathering Storm.
Yeah.
And this Loken guy has Scorch.
Okay, well, LS made a fan today. Or LWX made a fan of LS today. He's the one that did pick up the Gathering Storm.
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of Gathering Storm too.
Yeah.
Especially in this kind of huge international tournament and it's semifinals, I would definitely pick Gathering Storm.
Yeah, it just makes sense. I mean, especially when you look at your comp on the side of LWX, you're like, okay, well, you know, it's not like we're going to be doing too much early on. As, yeah, as you did mention, that's the only difference in the runes. It's only Gathering Storm versus Scorch.
Yeah. And also, they swapped the lane between mid and top, right? And this is kind of already good for FPX in my opinion, because let's say Renekton is on the top side, then it will be way easier for Nidalee to get a kill, right? Because top lane is longer than mid lane. But right now, Renekton and Ornn is on the mid lane, so I don't see any chance Khan is getting like ganked by Renekton and getting killed by Nidalee, you know? This is one of the setups that you can actually grow up Nidalee and let him farm the champions. And maybe he's farming bot lane.
Oh, that spear was massive. Can he get on top of Crisp here? I think he should be able to. The Guardian is down in just a couple of autos, and they're diving already. Double kill goes the way of Kanavi. Already here at 3.5 minutes, shutting down the scaling composition. Zoom is just going to flash away from this one, not going to take any risks. He knows the bottom lane, his team is already winning by so much.
Yeah, and JDG is all about Kanavi winning all the game, and also especially when he's playing Nidalee. He got the double kill, by the way, with the first blood.
Yeah.
This is one of the disaster moments, like top 10, and it would be like top number 1, I would say.
This is like the YouTube video, you know,
Yeah.
top 10 disaster clips.
Yep.
Nice hook to start here by the now, by the way.
Yep. Really great combo, and they were stomping lane 2v2 easily, even though they're playing against Varus. Also, there was clean dive by the LPL champion 2020.
We're going to start your first game off, Wadid, with a nice pause.
Yeah, I mean, is it off or on? Because like it's always me that if I'm like casting or like analyst asking, or even when I was doing a Korean commentary thingy with caster song, it got delayed so much time, so we like spent 12 hours in the venue.
I remember. I was watching. We do have a little bit of an update. Cons PC has a little bit of a graphical, is that a word? Graphic issue on it. We're going to get that fixed.
Ping stream. And ping issue as well, I heard.
Ping issue, or is it a...
I think ping issue is the main.
Oh,
Yeah.
ping spike. Okay, not a graphics issue. I thought you said like a pink stripe across the screen or something. I'm like, oh boy, that's...
miscommunication, I guess.
Might need to replace the computer with that one. I don't know. Me and Wadid going to spend a good 45 minutes just, you know, shooting the breeze. But, yeah, I mean,
this is actually normal for the LPL players because when you play Korean solo queue, there is a lot of Chinese players, by the way, and sometimes they get DCs randomly and they just type VPN. Oh, freaking god, VPN, VPN, can't log in, and like sometimes you lose game for free. But yeah, it's just normal in Korean server, you know.
Yeah.
Because we are really close, so they can actually play in Korean server. That's why. That's actually one of the reasons why Korean server is considered as the best server to practice. By the way, but
yeah,
I guess we do not have best system for the VPN. I guess. Riot, please make make even like VPN program by yourself as well. You know.
Maybe, you know.
They made a lot of games now.
Expanding their business, you know.
Yeah, and like make a VPN. Maybe they can make a new social media.
Yeah, something that's tailored towards specifically gamers that want to access other regions.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, we're just gonna be sitting here while we wait for the ping issue to die down. This is one of those issues where you don't know if it's gonna take like 3 minutes or 30 minutes, you know?
Or 3 hours.
3 hours.
It's China.
True.
It's a LPL. It's close but far at the same time because of the COVID-19 issue. So yeah, we don't know, but let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
Because I spent like 12 more than 12 hours. So.
Ooh. Why did we have some good news?
Oh, really?
It's going to be the 3-minute issue, not the 30-minute issue, not the 3-hour issue.
Thank you.
We are going to be resuming into the game here in just a moment. There we go. I was looking at Kanavi, who was looking a little bit, antsy. He's like, I just got this double kill. I wanna play from here, I want to get into the game already.
Yeah, I think Kanavi is already having a great time, but Tian, he's just farming, but we saw that the farming power is just really strong as a Graves when we watched the DRX games, right? Toshik was literally farming for 30 minutes and he just won the game by himself. So we don't know yet. So one thing that the game should be like really focused on is can they actually 1v1 in their jungle? Who is gonna invade enemy jungle and decide to get the vision control? But I think on the top side, actually, nothing is gonna happen and they're gonna have 50-50 calm, peaceful time.
Yeah. It is going to benefit the Corki, I suppose, here, because he did pick up the call. There's going to be no pressure onto him. He's also going up against the Graves jungle. And I like what Tien did there, by the way. He knew that after the back, Navi would immediately go up to his Krugs. That's like a pretty common jungle path. You want to pick up that extra XP. And so he went in, quickly stole the raids, got vision down, and then even hit the Scryer's Bloom to spot the Nidalee. So that gives even more safety to Doingby up in the top lane.
That is true. And yeah, it's happening. Kanavi is invading.
And then there, Khan is here, though. He gets the knockup. Kanavi may have gone a little bit too far. TP is coming in, though, from the Renekton. And they say, well, we don't quite have the damage to chase down Kanavi just yet. We're going to be swinging around here. Lots of offensive control wards so far. Smite available for both, but Kanavi is going to pick this one up. As it's really all about the pressure. Yeah. It's about rotating down to the bottom side, saying, hey, I'm back, by the way, with a Fiendish Codex on top of a half-completed jungle item.
Yeah, and also, it's not the same Varus anymore.
Oh!
And it's
what's
not
going on up
same.
here? The solo kill up on the top side. He's going to try to TP away. Does he get away? No, he does not, as Khan is going to interrupt his back. Can he chase after him? Yes, he can. The fire goes over the wall in this game as Khan is going to spare the blushes of his mid laner slash top laner doing B.
It's actually deja vu. I saw that moment yesterday too. Yagao tried to just escape with TP and he failed. Oh man, it feels bad. But anyway, he solo killed Doinb on the top side, and it seems like FPX is just focusing on the Drake with the 5-man focus, because Khan is keeping on the mid. And yeah, they secure the Drake, and this is fine, but I don't think JDG is caring that much about the Drake. I think they really care more about the header than this boring mountain first Drake.
Yeah. That mountain I saw, I think it gave, what, 4 armor to Graves. He doesn't have any armor items just yet, of course.
Oh, wait. That was really aggressive. Int moment.
Yeah, that was an int moment. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was straight int.
We can call it for what it is. I mean, that was pretty obvious. I think he just got a little bit excited. He's like, hey, don't hit me. I'm going to hit you back. But it's Corki, and he has Valkyrie, so yeah, definitely a mistake there by Doinb. Not the best start for him, although Khan will pick up the kill, as, he's just going to flash away. You were talking about how they're, going in, just getting that burst damage here as Kanavi takes the second tower hit, which is kind of unfortunate for him. But even after all that, Khan should be just fine. He's going for that Sunfire Cape burst, as I love this aggressive play out of Kanavi so far after the early start.
Kanavi is already on, like, he's already on point. He knows how to do this, like, he knows. Ooh. But Tian knows how to smite.
Yeah,
that's an
apparently.
important part. The junglers with the smite.
Jungle difference.
Yeah.
Smite difference.
So, I mean, I still agree that Kanavi is doing really well on the pressure that he got.
Oh, man, look at that damage.
And he got the Gromp as well, by the way, with the Ludens.
Yeah, he did. That's crazy. And, okay, Kanavi's just going to stick around. I love what he's doing here. He's so far ahead of Tian in items. He's just saying, I am in your face all game long. You can't jungle by yourself anymore.
He can actually 1v2 here, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to burst down
Holy moly!
The fight is coming in as the red hit is also going to get in there. Khan desperately trying to get that damage down as Kanavi is going to get away. JDG are just pummeling FPX here in the early game, all thanks to this Nidalee jungle that is just rolling their faces.
Yeah, after the Kanavi's first Nidalee game, most of the team just banned Nidalee away. But this is blind pick, so you can't ban it.
Yeah.
So just deal with it. So this is how you deal with the Kanavi's Nidalee. Just give 3 kills. I mean, it sounds really easy, right? But Nidalee is one of the coin flip champion. It considered as coin flip champion, even in the solo queue. But right now, and I feel like Kanavi's Nidalee is not a coin flip. It's always like tail.
Yeah.
Or
heads up. Yeah. I think you might be right. Just, I like the way that his team as well kind of made the bottom gank work. It was great communication to enable that to happen. And Kanavi's just running Khan down. He's going to hit him with the red buff, and he is absolutely dead. With the package, there's just no way for him to get away. Flash was down. Even if he had Flash, he was dead. As with the Rift Herald, we're just going to push the top lane. And this is feeling like one of those really fast games here, Wadid.
Yeah. And it reminds me most of the solo queue games.
Yeah.
And Genji has enemy Yasuo. It is official confirmed by Arrow Esports Twitter, by the way.
Yeah.
And second, top esports has enemy team LeBlanc, right? And JDG has enemy teams Nidalee, because it's not happening in my team.
Yeah, no, this never happens.
It never happens.
Usually Nidalee's on my team die in the jungle.
Yeah. 0-on-0 behind in levels.
Yeah. Or 0-1 because they died to Krugs.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Just by themselves.
Yeah, so right now, I mean, as you mentioned, how they support Kanavi as a damage dealer is so insane, and look at the items already!
Yeah, he already bought it.
What
he
the
already
heck?
bought a Grail. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I understand why this is so OP. Because it's not. I mean, I already mentioned in the previous show in Korean that even though it's 2 LPL teams fight, there is so many Koreans, so we don't need to feel bad about it. If you are big fan of LCK or Korean, you know? So, I mean, it's still great to see like good Korean imports are playing really great in the foreign teams, you know. And absolutely, Kanavi is the best player in JDG. I feel like.
Yeah, and I'd say currently he's beginning to make a name for himself as, you know, I don't want to get too overhyped just from one Italy game, but his performance, yeah, it's hard not to get hyped, but even his performance in the regular season and in the playoffs of the LPL, I mean, Kanavi is proving to be, at this point, probably the best Korean player in the LPL. And he's come over here to the Mid-Season Cup, and he's doing just that once again as the Ornn ultimate is going to come down. It hits all 3, but CP coming in. Kanavi could consider to go on to Crispy, or nobody's going to help him. Look at Tien. He's like, no, you're dead, dude. I'm running away from you. He's not actually going to pick up the kill, but Kanavi with his aggression, he's never laying his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah. Lumao is going
by the
in.
way, we're going in.
Man.
Lumao says, see you later, buddy. That's going to be the second time he owned that Varus' life here in this game. As, oh man, Khan is getting in there. But there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like one team has so many challengers and like because of the matchmaking issue, you know. Yeah. And I just feel like JDG is just having fun, and also how they play in this kind of huge tournament, and they spend so many times, and it must be really hard for them to deal with this kind of schedule. But like, look at how they play in the first game. They're just stomping FPX left and right and up and down.
Yeah. Maybe they still feel warmed up from yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's it. FPX had too much of a break.
Yep.
And they're like, you know, they're taking it a little bit slow. JDG's just like ready to go right away. You know, maybe they just slept in the studio. Like, okay, let's just go once again. They're up more than 7,000 gold, guys, at 13 minutes.
Look at Lil Mao, by the way. He hooked and used the flay to hit Kanavi's spear. This is just way too clean. One of the textbook to how to play Nidalee and Thresh, or how to play jungle and support as a duo.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, this is just perfect. I mean, I just want to spotlight again that like how they make this happen is they just know so well and know how to use their lane pressure to give it to their jungler, you know. So it looks easy, but it's always really hard to use your lane prior and lane pressure to into the other benefits, like getting enemy camps or getting some objectives. But JDG is just doing really great on that job.
Yeah, I mean, they're just smurfing on them right now. I mean, this game is not even close. I don't know if there is a chance for FPX to make it back. Remember, guys, they do have this really crazy scaling draft with the Kassadin, the Varus, Graves with Ornn, and Tom Kent's to protect them all. And in the LCK, sometimes we'll see this happen where a team, well, I'm going to have to hold that thought. They're just diving the turret. Okay, they got the spear down. Man. He's dead. I mean, this Nidalee is just disgusting. He's 6 kills now.
I mean, I just saw it. Yagao is like, nah, I'm not getting those kills. Hello, my brother, Kanavi. Just go in, take it, and devour it.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone is so ready. And if FPX had Doinb to set up those kind of how to use all the advantage, they have Kanavi, and he's doing really great on that job. Like, he just got 6 kills and didn't die yet, while Tien is just farming and doing nothing in the game. Absolutely.
And there's nobody on the side really of FPX that have enough money or the ability, even if they had the money or they wanted to spend their money on MR, they can't because they just fall too far behind. So he's just going to go Machine, probably straight into Lichbane. Like, he's got Sword Pen, he's doing already insane amounts of damage.
Yep.
And you know, the spear, it got buffed on a recent patch. You know, it's got extra AP ratio, I think, by an extra 0.2 once again, which is a really nice buff for Italy. And especially if you get ahead, that scaling just makes it even more obnoxious. As we're going to take a look at, once again, this play.
Great package by Yagao as well. And also Loca's Arsenal team just hit it perfectly.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's spotlight again that Locan is actually doing a really great job of heal and scorch Varus. This is not same Varus at all.
Yeah.
Since like minute 3 or something, I guess. And yeah, I mean, I said if I'm doing this kind of huge international tournament, I'm picking like Gathering Storm and TP for the rotation. But Locan is like, nah, you guys are so boring. I'm picking heal and scorch.
Yeah.
We want to fight.
Exactly.
We want early prior, early pressure with those kind of 10 extra damage. But he's actually doing it, so it's worth. It's worth at all. Like,
yeah,
you can definitely pick Scorch and Heal if you can do this like kind of snowball.
Yeah, which is why, you know, sometimes we say, hey, Gathering Storm is almost always better, but like if you're playing solo queue, there are a lot of cases where, you know, Scorch Heal would probably be better and stuff like that. And certainly in this case, they knew they wanted to fight early. They wanted to get Kanavi snowballed, and they have to. Oh man,
they
spear
have the
lands.
pokes between the minions, by the way, and also they have 3-man poking on the turret. Korg is shooting missile, and Varus is also shooting missiles, but Kanavi is shooting nukes.
Yeah.
It's nuke.
It's like torpedoes and missiles coming from every different direction.
Man.
Oh, man.
I'm definitely not willing to play this game if I'm a PX side.
Yeah.
Like there is so many pokes.
In this case, it's if this was solo queue, this would probably be one of those few 15-minute surrenders.
Yeah. I'm glad Riot made 15 minutes FF.
For cases like this.
But this is tournament again. And this is one of the games that you have to do. And it's not over yet. I mean, it feels kind of really over for FPX for this game, but it's BO5, so they can still do something and show that we are not over yet, we are not done yet, because they still have level 16 Cassidy Power Spike and Ornn's 10 million items.
Yeah.
But I think they need at least extra 20 minutes, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think JDG are going to allow them to have that chance. You know, they're going to go for a push down here on the bottom side with Shirley, the second Rift Herald, that will be picked up. And what I wanted to say before about the LCK is that sometimes they'll pick aggressive drafts that just fall flat on their face, and that's why scaling drafts look so strong in the LCK, but that is not the case here tonight.
Yeah.
Not in this first game. They've said, hey, Italy's actually the OP one.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, TN doesn't exist in this game right now. Up against Kanavi, they are just like on different planes of existence in this one, as they're just going to go ahead, TP mid, and I think it's pretty safe to say that this game is just about over.
Yeah? I mean, the way how? Like how?
Oh,
the
man.
nukes and missiles as
someone clip it, ship
yeah.
it.
Oh my god. They're just shooting around and everyone is dying. By the way, it's not the ultimate. They're just randomly just landing some normal skills, by the way.
Yeah. We're at 21 minutes. It's 14,000 gold difference. 14,000.
That's crazy.
That's not.
And TP, this is the last chance, I guess. And it is indeed last chance.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, they got Kanavi.
They got a kill.
They got a kill.
Yagao still here though.
Level 13.
Doing some pretty decent damage. A really nice play there by
Slowly.
Lubao. But he has gotten himself into a little bit of trouble.
He's actually going, by the way. It's not over. It's not over.
Logan! He's gonna die though. Uses his flash to pick up the kill. But that does end up feeding the kill over to the side of Doingme, so. Okay, now it's not 14,000, only 12,000 left. Only 12.
This game is still kind of over because
I don't think they can clear out those minions that fast. Because they already lost 2 inhibs. Even though like they were really far ahead, it was great attempt by FPX side though. They got the shutdowns and they still have hope. But in fact and in theory, you should not able to like get back, and I don't think Doinbi can even reach to level 16 because there is so many minions and it's not attack speed virus with Lunas, right? So I don't think there is many kind of way to push the waves and clear out the waves. And if Jingdong Gaming can get a Nasher safely, then this game is like 99% over.
Yeah. This is one of those games where it's like, okay, the scaling composition, you know, we have to mention it, right? Like, oh, okay, it gives some extra levels to Ornn and Cassidy, right? It gives the 1,000 gold shutdown to the Varus. Yeah. Okay, like, we can say that, but is it going to mean anything at this point when they're still down 12,000 gold? Almost definitely not. We'll have to see, though, if Jingdong can, you know, maybe make a couple mistakes. Maybe FPX can get another miracle team fight or a good TP or something like that.
Nasher is gone, by the way.
Oh, that's okay. Baron Nasher is going to be going down here. Ornn ultimate will come from downtown. It's not going to hit anybody, as the spear will go wide, and LWX is actually doing some nice damage. Not as much as Loken, but, you know.
Not bad, not bad.
He's still a Varus with some items here. As, by the way, your base.
The minions.
Yeah, minions OP.
Minions are OP.
Today we learned, once again, never underestimate the minions.
Yeah, and also 2 inhibs with the Nasher buff, and especially when you have poke composition, and you're ahead in like so much gold.
Yeah.
And Kanavi is just walking in through their base. Doinbi is level 14, by the way, so they at least need to scale and wait for another 5 minutes at least.
Yeah. The real question is, can JDG end the game? Even from this massive...
Okay, slowly poking by Doinbi. This is pretty good.
Oh, but Zoom
pretty
in the
good.
front is going to get knocked up.
Looking
and he's
pretty
going to go
good.
down. LWX will pick up the kill. All right.
All right, all right.
And with all the super minions coming in, you're going to pick up that extra gold and XP. You're going to sit back and farm up. That's why I was saying, you know, can they actually end the game?
I think they need 5 minutes more. And I think FPX has actually huge chance to like make this comeback. Because it's Cassidy, level 16.
True.
One of the simple, and look at how Doinbi is like keep poking with the ultimate and E skills. And yeah, I mean that was one of the great defense by level 14 Cassidy.
Yeah, it's pretty big. As we take a look at the XP bar down in the bottom left, level 15 is hit.
Yeah, and mid and both inhibs are respawning. And this is great that the JDG can only get the Cloud Drake Soul.
Yeah,
which means almost nothing. Almost nothing.
Pretty much nothing in this one. There's no gigantic, you know, ultimates that are going to be coming off cooldown really fast on the side of JDG. That you're really going to want, I suppose, some more missiles and stuff like that. Maybe you can lock down more with Varus, but it's not going to make as much of a difference as different Cloud Soul, or Dragon Soul, that is. As the inhibitors are going to go down once again, with Baron still here, 20 seconds. You can see that JDG would love to end the game here. They do not want to leave the 2 inhibitors, or the 3 inhibitors here, for just some free farm for FPX.
Oh!
Yeah, Tian is having a lot of trouble. There's the lockdown again. The Merc Treads are going to help out quite a lot. Doinbi moving forward. Nice knock up here by Khan. Can they actually pull off the miracle defense is the question, as Zoom is diving in deep. He's tanking up so much of that damage.
It's over.
As in goes Kanavi as well. He is going to be surviving in this one. Nice try by FPX to put up a defense here with their supreme scaling composition. But it is not going to matter here at the end of the day. Game 1 is going to go the way of JDG in 26 minutes and a 6-0 Nidalee by, I think it was minute 13 in this one.
Yeah.
As they were just smurfing all over FPX in the blind pick.
So they are fully charged with those caffeines, right? Like that was just a storm, and this is why you just pick Nidalee to Kanavi, and this is why you ban Nidalee against Zington Gaming.
Yeah, Nidalee is not going to see the rift again.
Yeah.
No, not after that one.
I
There's
mean,
no way.
Yeah, and also I really liked how they set up for Nidalee. You know, everyone had the same pressure, and everyone know how to land the skills. I mean, it sounds really, really stupid, but you know.
But
like,
it's a good point.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Lil Mao, like you see how he play and set up for Nidalee, right?
Yeah.
Like, his stretch was absolutely just deleting enemies Tom Kench, and I didn't even know that who is playing for FPX, you know, for some moments. So I really want to spotlight that Thresh again as well, and all the players in Jingdong Gaming just play so much better than FPX.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it really was the jungle and support synergy. You know, as much as Kanavi was doing so much for his team, so was Lumao, and everybody else on the Rift was kind of just supporting those two in their ultimate goal of getting Kanavi unbelievably fed to the point where he just shut down every single lane, basically. He went top multiple times. He followed Tian through the jungle. He's like, you're not going to get away from me. I have traps in every bush. I have multiple control wards. I see exactly where you are. And he just totally nullified the enemy jungle.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't give Nidalee, all the kills, because Nidalee can definitely just run around the map and go topside and go back to the bot side in 10 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
That's just how champion works. And yeah, I mean, even though they didn't like kind of have successful time with the Renekton setup for the Nidalee, they still had Thresh and Varus, which is great setup and tools for the Nidalee farms, and they actually farmed the bot lane so freely. And it was completely different Varus as well. So yeah, I am picking Scorch for now.
We made you a Scorch fan after that game?
And picking heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that TP Gathering Storm strategy.
True. Well, when you're up against Nidalee Thresh, probably not a good idea. You might want to pick up Cleanse. Just
or
saying.
heal.
Or heal, right? Something. I mean, he had Tom Kench, so probably not Cleanse in that case.
Oh,
but,
yeah, maybe.
Either way, just a total shutdown. I don't think anyone was really expecting... I mean, I know everybody's kind of expecting JDG to win the series.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone was really expecting that one-sided of a stomp in
that
game
kind
one.
of stomp, yeah.
That was a solo queue game. We said it in the game. Like, that did not look like a professional game just because of how one-sided it was. And those don't come around very often. I mean, you were saying yesterday even the LPL teams were sitting back and scaling. But JDG have a different kind of agenda for today.
And this was this game over moment, by the way, already at level 2. And after that moment, also, Varus was completely different champion. They had the same champion name in the band picks, but after those, and look at this 1v2 moment as well. Like, he's pushing out Tian 24/7, and Tian was just having rough time. He was not participating for the any kills for until like 15 minutes, and yeah, jungle support synergy.
Yeah, that was the Lumao highlight right there.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
That wasn't the Kanavi highlight. That was the Lumao highlight.
Yeah, I mean, all the players from JDG was great supports for Kanavi.
Yeah.
I mean, look at here.
Corki support right here.
Corki. I mean, he's not getting kills. Like, he's not shooting the missile. He's hitting tower. He's hitting turret for Kanavi, because my little brother, or like my brother Kanavi, is getting hit by turret. You know?
Yeah. You gotta help him out.
But yeah, I mean, it's still BO5, so FPX didn't give up in this moment, and they still kind of made some kind of comeback here. And surprisingly, even though like it was like 14k, right? 14k gold difference.
Yes. Yeah.
But still, they kind of had like at least 2 team fights winning moments. So I'm still fine with this, and I don't think it's gonna be like 3-0. Maybe they should change some drafts. Like, for example, please do not like sit back and lay down for 20 minutes, you know? I mean, let's say if they didn't lose any inhibs till Kassadin level 13 or something, then I would definitely say FPX could have better chance than this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's part of the reason why they were going for that sort of scaling comp, is that they wanted to sit back, relax, and scale up, but just JDG took the game by the horns, basically, and
so yeah,
that is not happening.
So my question is, how broken is Varus?
I mean, he shouldn't be ever picked in a pick ban.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, that legendary, like 6 kills in the early game Nidalee is lower damage than Varus.
By far.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, some people can say, Varus is laning, but Knavi was also laning against enemy jungle, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was laning and jungling and everywhere, basically. He was the one always doing the burst damage on pretty much everybody. And still Varus did over more than 10,000 damage than the Nidalee in that game. So Varus needs a nerf.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah.
And once, it's kind of setting the stage. The blind pick for game 1 is interesting because it's like, now I don't think we're going to see Nidalee.
No.
Now I don't think we're going to see Varus at all.
Not at all.
We might want to scrap the... Well, I think FPX in this scenario, that might be something they prepared, like that kind of 5-man scaling composition. So we might see some kind of variant of that once again, maybe here in game 2, as with bans, they have a little bit more control over what they're going up against. So either way, guys, it is going to be Knavi from the jungle that does pick up the player of the game. I feel like we do need a little bit of a footnote with Lumao's name down there at the bottom, as I feel like it was kind of a duo in that case. But Knavi was really the one that set the tempo after picking up those 2 kills, was always in the face of Tian and shutting the enemy team down.
I mean, it's always dilemma, you know? Like, when it comes to vote for POG, do you vote for the killer or who supported for the killer?
Yeah.
Like, it's always so hard, you know? Because, like, obviously, the one, like, dealt the damage gets the spotlight. Because it's, like, easy to see, you know? But, like, the way how he supported for the main carry was just so perfect that if he was not existing, then I don't think Knavi can just 1v9, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's always hard, but, I mean, let's think about it this way. Nidalee is not a normal pick. And not just the pick that you just pick it up and just play it in the competitive. So I think there is more point on that. So Knavi, well-deserved POG, and definitely he showed up his abilities to the global fans as well.
Yeah. You guys may have missed some of his dominance in the LPL games where he was destroying people in playoffs and regular season. But now he's here on the main stage and showing it for everybody. So we'll have to see what kind of picks and craziness do happen in game number 2. From here on out, it is going to be drafts, so we will actually have bans. And I don't think we're going to have much more Nidalee or Varus anymore about it. So guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, game number 2 of FPX up against Jindong Gaming.